Today on Perky TV, we're taking a look at the top 5 coolest and, in some cases, historically relevant items to ever be on Pawn Stars. Will your favorites make the list? Let's find out. Albert Einstein's handwritten math. Walking into Gold and Silver Pawn Shop with what he claimed was Albert Einstein's own handwritten math note, this customer knew he had something good. So did Rick, who immediately knew the significance of what this could be. Without a signature, however, this one had him on guard, and he had to call in an expert. After some time under a microscope and using some tools, Rick's expert said with certainty that Albert Einstein had written this note. The customer wanted $18,000 for it, but the most the expert said it was worth was $5,000. With Rick being, Rick, and trying to haggle out a low price, the customer ended up walking and no deal was made. Houdini's straitjacket. Some unbelievably cool items have walked through the shop over the years, but so few have left Rick visibly upset for not getting them. This time it was a straitjacket that the owner claimed was worn by Harry Houdini. Rick couldn't believe that there was any way to prove it, but called in a magic expert anyways. Now, sometime later, using an old photograph, the expert was able to match up the jacket flaw for flaw to the original. Photo evidence that Harry Houdini had performed in that same jacket. The only problem now was the price. The customer wanted $100,000, and Rick's expert put a price of $30,000 to $40,000 on the jacket. The customer wouldn't take a lower offer and ended up walking out of the deal. Rick afterwards expressed how much he really wanted that jacket. Original 1971 Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory film props. There are some deals on Pawn Stars that just make Rick light up like a kid on Christmas. One of his contacts got a hold of him and had movie memorabilia to sell. Not just any movie though. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, one of Rick's favorite films. The memorabilia included Willy Wonka's hat, the golden egg, a film-used golden ticket, Wonka bars, and the crown jewel of the collection, the everlasting gobstopper. For all of this, the owner was asking $725,000. Rick inquired about purchasing just the gobstopper. The owner immediately mentioned that this was a collection, so the price would be high, $100,000. Rick ultimately countered with $105,000 and a Wonka bar, and the two came to an agreement. The Smoking Hamilton. Someone was smoking something when this Hamilton was made, and later walked through the doors of the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop. Currenciers can be pricey, and there was no telling what this one would be worth. On this bill, Hamilton looks to be smoking, something. And it's all due to what the expert called in described as an obstruction. When asked about how much he wanted for the bill, the customer said $50,000, to which the expert had a laugh. He would value the bill at $500 to $600, and in the end, Corey offered $300, and the customer ended up keeping the bill for himself. George Washington's three-piece suit. If you've watched Pawn Stars for any decent amount of time, you'll know that Americana sells, and Rick knows it. But when a collector had an item to sell that he said was one of a kind, he was not kidding. In amazing shape considering its age, stood a full three-piece suit owned and worn by none other than George Washington himself. It had Rick stunned like a deer in the headlights to the point that he had to rearrange another meeting so he could think about his offer. Once he sat down again with the owner, he asked the price and the dealer wanted $3 million. Rick's best haggling efforts would then get the price down to $2.5 million, which was still too high for the pawn shop owner whose upper limit was $1.5 million. Such an amazing story for Rick to tell to the employees, however, as this was a true piece of American history. Well, that's our list. What did you think? What is your favorite cool item to come into the shop? Let us know in the comments below.